Hey everyone, welcome back, and today we're going to be discussing Illuvium Proposals. What are they for? What do they do? Why do you need to write them? Or why does someone in the community need to write them? And how can you use them to make Illuvium even better than it already is in the future? I'm going to jump into all of that. Let's do it. So this is relatively interesting. So this topic is going to be quite interesting. Before we get into it, welcome back where I'm Scoriox, and as always, I do the maths and you do that sweet degen, and as we all know, I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. And please always do your own research. So what is a proposal? A proposal allows the community to influence the game's development. Now, this sounds a little bit scary, but there are lots of roadblocks there in place for the safety of the DAO, the speed of the game's production and things like that, as well as the safety of the overall game's health and everything as well. So you definitely don't need to be stressed. It's always good to write up proposals if you think they should be there. But at this time, I'm also offering my services. I've written a proposal recently. It's gotten some good feedback and we're still workshopping it and everything. But I want to offer my services. If you have a proposal you want to write, and I'm going to explain what that is in a second, but if you have something that you're interested in getting out there for the community, let me know and I will help you write up the document. We can have a chat. I can cross-reference and check all your data and everything, and we can have discussions about it and everything like that. And I can help you write proposals because ultimately all I want to do is I really want to help the community grow and improve and get the best game we possibly can. And that's what this is all about, right? So if I help you write your proposal, I'll also make it, if I really like the proposal and everything, obviously, I'm also going to make an effort to promote it or talk about it in my YouTube channel. Currently, I've written a proposal about claiming SILV2 on revenue distribution, from revenue distribution, and that can be found in the feedback channel of Illuvium. And I'll show you that in a second. It's not too major, but I'll show you that. But yeah, so I'll talk about it, and I want to make this an ongoing series where any new proposals come up, I want to break it down for all of you guys. So if you guys want to see more content about that, you want to learn about proposals and learn what they mean when they come out, because some of the terminology, as we all know, the crypto terminology is not the easiest to go through. Okay, it can be a little bit daunting and it can get quite confusing, especially when you're newer to the community. So if you guys want to understand what's going on, I'm going to be making an effort to discuss everything with you guys. Okay, so who writes proposals? The community does. Anyone can write a proposal. They post it somewhere in the Discord. I was suggested to use feedback, but there are a few other channels as well. I'll make a highlighted comment with maybe some of the places you can do it if you want to look, and it'll be in the description as well. And yeah, I'm willing to help and promote good proposals, but something you need to be aware of is they need to have a good structure. Okay, and what does this mean? So this is one of the Medium articles from Illuvium themselves, and it talks about the different structures and everything that the proposal should have. Here are the main couple of points, right? You have the preamble. You have the, I can zoom in, hold on. There you go. You have the preamble, which is unimportant apparently. That's kind of more for down the track. You have the simple summary. So just a simple breakdown of what it is you're trying to achieve. In my case, it was that I want to claim SILV2 from revenue distribution and from in-game yield rewards. That's it. If you can't explain it that simply, you probably need to either break up the proposal into a few different things or restructure kind of what you're asking. An abstract, which is a really small description of the technical issue being addressed and maybe a bit about why you're addressing it and things like that. But again, this is brief. The motivation, this is critical for IIPs that want to change Illuvium, and you should definitely make sure you're explaining exactly why you want to do this proposal, okay? This can be in a bit more detail, but this is still quite brief. Down here, your rationale and your specification are your longer parts of the proposal. So what you're looking for is you're looking for things like what might hinder the DAO from doing it and what kind of technical limits you can see being possible. If you don't know all the answers, that's fine. Post it. And then when you get feedback and things, you can repost it, update it, edit it, do whatever, until it's at a place where some of the mods might go, oh, okay, this proposal's really well received now, and they'll push it through, and then you'll start having that better side of things where it starts to get pushed through, and then you can have it discussions and move on to the next stage of the proposal. And I'll explain that in a minute. But just at the end, you've got test cases, which aren't really too important, and the copyright waiver. Again, that'll happen down the track, and I think some of the mods and things will actually take care of a lot of that sort of stuff. So these are sort of the main stuff you should be looking at when you're writing your proposal. Now, I want to show you an example. So once a proposal happens, and it goes through onto the GitHub. For those of you unfamiliar with GitHub, it's a very common, it's called a repository, I believe. And it's a very common place for coders to share their code and things like that. I believe because it keeps a really detailed record of every single change that is made. Kind of like a blockchain, not quite that stringent. And obviously it's not that, it's a little bit user by user. You can use it that way or you can not or whatever, but it's just really common. Also because it has a lot of the highlighting tools and stuff that coders like to reference when they're looking at code for the syntax and other things. Not too important, but it's a really useful place for large groups and large companies, especially in game development and things like that, to organize information. That's basically what it's here for. As you can see, this one is open, although I believe it was confirmed. But this just kind of has the different ticks and marks and approvals and things from the different devs saying that the proposal is complete and things like that. So this is just kind of really bare bones. But what will also happen is you get a snapshot on the Illuvium website, and they're actually updating all of their governance channels at the moment. So you can still see a lot of stuff, but it's going to be way fancier and better very soon. Let's put it that way. Okay, so... And this has, once your proposal has been well received and it's been put through, a few of the mods might talk to you, or you might talk to them and things, and you'll try and really create a detailed description, almost like a mini white paper of your proposal. You'll create a really detailed and effective document, and there will be many people there to help you, including myself. I'm willing to offer my services and help you out. Obviously, I'm not accepting payment or anything like that. I just want to give you guys a hand. As you can see on this existing one, so really there isn't actually that much text here. Okay, any of you that are thinking, oh, I want to rewrite a proposal, but I don't want to spend 5 days writing an essay. It's not an essay. It needs to get the point across, explain every single bit of detail that you can think of might be relevant. Obviously that can come later. Sometimes the bare bones information is better because it's easier to be well received, but at some point it has to be fleshed out. So if anyone's wondering if you want to write a proposal, this is one way to approach it. You just look at this Medium document, I'll put it in the description down below, and then you can just go through it and you can write up your thing. I'll give you guys a hand. It's all awesome, okay? So here's an example of a proposal I wrote. I'll bring it up here now. And it's very simple. I had an issue where I couldn't put all the text in one message. So here it is here. And it's quite detailed. But that being said, with this proposal, I actually took an older proposal that had kind of been gathering dust and I really wanted it to move forward. I've been now told that the game, people were waiting for game launch and things like that. But it's good to keep the discussion flowing. I think that's what I've done here and help spark that discussion again, because there's definitely things that need to be addressed, especially with staking V2 around the corner. Now, I'm not going to read out a proposal to you, but just so you know, it's just that simple. It's got a bunch of reacts and things now. Maybe this video will get it even more. I'd like you guys to go and show this proposal some support. It's just in the feedback channel. But most importantly, consider your own proposals. Maybe there are things you want to put into the game that are really important to you. Okay, so the last few things I should talk about is the council does have a role in this. Once it's been well received and everything, it actually goes to a council vote. I should have mentioned that before, apologies. Basically, they vote on the proposal. Currently, I believe there are 5 council members. So, I mean, you can't have any ties that way, which is good. But it goes to a vote. If it gets denied, then it goes back to the drawing board. You might be able to make some changes to get it approved. But the council essentially has a say here. Now, where the community's voting power comes in is the community elected the council. Okay, so they've elected the council and the council makes the decisions. I think this works great, especially since we re-elect every 3 months, which is a really good system in the end because it keeps it fresh. If things aren't really working out, then we have time to reevaluate and readjust. So what are some possible proposals to give you a little bit of inspiration? So this allows the community to help create the best game and make sure, but you also have to make sure the DAO isn't hindered, okay? We don't really want to submit a bunch of proposals that are going to slow down the DAO and the eDAO and all the devs and everything from doing what they do best. But that's what the council is there for. They have the best inside track, have a lot of internal discussions between themselves, the DAO, developments, founders, everything. They have all those discussions for you. Submit what you think works, consider the devs a little bit in your proposal as well, and then the council will decide on maybe it's not even just the right time for it and they'll wait for down the road and stuff as well. So definitely consider that. But what sort of fun can you have here? So things like in-game mechanics are a really interesting one. This is one that I want to talk about in more detail down the road. So if you guys want to see more of that, please leave a comment down below. Please like and sub and don't forget to hit that bell. We're going to have some awesome chats about this. But like, can you submit a proposal saying Atlas's damage should be 10 points higher? You probably could. It's not going to go anywhere. Okay, I highly doubt anyone's going to put through a proposal like that on a whim. However, there are bigger things you can talk about. Things like in-game mechanics. There is room to upgrade the game. And I know Aaron's all about that. Obviously, we don't want to make the game too complex. That is not what I'm discussing here. Maybe your battle board is 60 by 60, and then you have some really good technical, fundamental, and gameplay reasons why it should be 50 by 50 hexes. I'm talking those mini hexes, by the way, but why it should be smaller. And then we could all have a healthy discussion about maybe that does work. Maybe the devs have already tried it. You get to have these healthy discussions about improving the game overall. So I'm not talking about individual stat changes and things, although maybe that will happen eventually. Maybe like fire overall could get a buff based on a proposal and really good reasoning. But I'm talking about general gameplay elements. And I'm sure there will be many of these in the future. But just keep that in mind that there's so much room here to make the game better. And that is only with the community's help. So I hope you guys got something out of this. I hope you found it really useful. There's a lot to chat about in the future. I'm glad to be back. Let's do it. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. I hope that you'll watch that next video up in the top right hand corner. Or don't, but I really do appreciate it. Please like and subscribe down below. And I'll catch you all in the next one.